So basically there are three different ports, and through these ports we are going to connect peripheral device through these port to the microprocessor. Okay, so in that we have seen three different port like port A, port B, and port C, and it is having different modes. So one is a BSR mode, and along with the BSR mode we are having, this is BSR mode, means basically bit set reset. So this is basically for port C, and another mode is that is input output mode. So in input output mode there are three different modes, that is mode 0, mode 1, and mode 2. So up to mode 1 we have seen. So here in mode 0 basically the ABC ports are going to work as either input port or output port. So this is, so basically the handshake signal is to provide the initialization of different ports, like when the data should be transferred, and that initialization, or we call it synchronization, that is provided by this port C, that is called handshake. Okay, so that was in mode 1. So now we will see the mode 2 operation. So here in mode 2 basically the port A will be working either in as a input mode, input port, or as a output port. That means port A will be working both as input and output at the same time. And here port B will be working either in mode 0 or mode 1, and port C will be providing the handshake signal to the port A, that is working in bidirectional mode. Okay, so we will see how the port A is going to operate. Okay, so up to mode 0 we have seen. So we will start with mode 1. So in mode 1 here the port A and port B will be working as input or output mode, and port C will be working as handshake signal. Okay, so we will see like how this is going to work, and what is the control register format, and what is status. So and how these are going to control basically. So here port A and port B will be working as input and output mode. So first of all, the first configuration is like both are working as input mode. Okay, suppose port A and port B are working in input mode, then what will be the configuration we will see. So here the control word or the control register content we have already seen, like how it is defined. Okay, so in that, if it is working in input output mode, then D7 bit will be 1. Okay, so that will indicate the input output mode. Okay, so that this last D0 bit is going to indicate the C lower. Okay, C port C lower content. Okay, so here this port C is going to work as an input and output mode. So it is D0 is made to don't care. D1 indicate the port B. So if here we are going to analyze only, like it is going to work in, so if port B is working in input mode, then D1 will be 1, and this is mode 1. So for mode 1 of port B, this D2 bit should be 1. So this is the same control word that we have seen in the mode 0 of this 8255. Okay, so by configuring in mode 1 port B as an input, D1 will be 1 and D2 will be 1. Okay, so that is given from the control word that we have already seen. Yes, this was the control word format basically. So here D0 indicates the PC lower. Okay, so PC lower port C is going to work as a handshake signal, so that we will not be considering. So that is either 0 or 1, that is considered as don't care. D1 and D2 bits are going to indicate the status of port B. Okay, so if port B is working as input mode, it will be 1, and if it is having mode 1 operation, then it will be 1. So D1 and D2 will be find it out by these two. And PC upper. So in this PC upper, So this in upper, if the port C is going to work as a handshake signal, so there are three different handshake signals are required basically for port A and port B. So three for port B and three for port A. Okay, so that's why it is grouped. So port C is basically grouped as group B and group A. So in group A, it will be associated with the port A, and that is the port B C that will be is upper port C. So upper port C 4 bits will be associated with port A, and lower port C bits will be associated with port B. Okay, so lower uh, port C pins will be working as a handshake signal to port B, and upper port C lines or the pins will be working as the handshake signal for port A. So out of these three signals are used as handshake signal for port A and three for port B. So out of that, 3 plus 3, that is 6. 6 will be used for handshake, and two pins of port C are remaining. So that will be working as a input or output mode. Okay, so these 2 bits will be working as input and output modes, but the 6 bits will be basically going for the handshake signal. Okay, so that we will see later. Next is D4 indicate the port A status. So if it is in input mode, then port C. D5 and D6 indicate the mode of operation of port A. So here port A is operating in mode 1, so it will be 0 and 1. And this D7 should be 1 if it is working, the port A and port B are working in input output mode. So basically we can find here from this point, like D4 will be 1 because port is in, and D5 and D6 will be in mode 1. So for mode 1, 0 and 1 will be selected for making port A into mode 1, and D7 indicate the input output mode, so it will be 1. So this is the control word format. If the port A and port B are working in input mode, okay, such that it is having handshake signal. Okay, so if it is having handshake signal, so we will see the configuration like, so this is port A. So here port A is working as an input mode, so it is indicating like this. If it is working as input mode, that means the microprocessor will be taking data from the peripherals. Okay, so the port that is working as an input port, that means whatever peripheral, external peripheral is connected to that port, that will be providing some input through that port to the microprocessor. That's why it is working in input mode. So it will be, if it is working in input mode, it will be accepting the data. So port A will be accepting the data, and after accepting the data, that data to the microprocessor. Okay. Similarly, if port B is working as an input port, okay, so arrow sign is like this way. It is going to the 8255, and then it will be sending the data to the microprocessor. So it is working as an input mode. So in this input mode, it will be PA0 to PA7, and similarly either for port B, it will be PB0 to PB7. All the 8-bit data will be accepted by the microprocessor. That will be working in input mode. Along with that, there are three handshake signals. So these handshake signals in case of input mode operation is like STBA. If it is a handshake signal of port A, then the suffix like A will be used. So STB basically it is called strobe signal. Strobe input. It is input signal. So it is arrow is inward. So it is input signal. So strobe signal will be an input signal, and it is IBF is input buffer full. That is output signal for port A. And next one is output signal, that is INTR. This is interrupt request for port A. And along with that, another signal that is considered as the part of the control bit. So this is like control signal. So INTA. So INTE, sorry. So INTE is basically interrupt enable. If this pin is 1, INTE is TEA is 1, then only the interrupt will be activated. If port A wants to send an interrupt, it should be making INTA as active. Okay. So here these three signals, that is strobe signal, input buffer full, and interrupt request. These three are the handshake signals. Along with that, this INT E, that is interrupt enable, that is the control signal. So once the INTR, that is interrupt request, need to be sent to the micro, then INTE and and this is strobe signal. All the three should be 1. If all the three is 1, then this INTR will be activated. That means the interrupt request signal will be activated by this port A to the microprocessor. So this is output port, output signal. So this output signal will be going to the microprocessor. It will be causing an interrupt to the microprocessor. Okay. So what is this strobe signal? Okay. So when an external peripheral device wants to send a byte of data, it will be sending this strobe signal, a low strobe signal. So it will be sending a strobe signal that will be a low logic. So if low logic is sent by the peripheral device, external peripheral device, that means the external peripheral device wants to send some data to the microprocessor. Okay, so that data is like 1 byte. If it is first strobe signal is given by the peripheral device, then the peripheral device wants to send the first data, first byte of the data to the microprocessor. If that data, if this wants to send the data, it will be giving you out this strobe signal. So once this strobe signal is accepted by the microprocessor, it will accept the data. Once it is accepting the data, the microprocessor has accepted 1 byte of data from the external peripheral device, then it will be activating like sending an output signal that will be called IBF, that means input buffer full. So initially the buffer was empty. When 1 byte of data was sent by the peripheral device, that buffer is full, then a signal will be indicated by the microprocessor like the input buffer is full now. Okay. After input buffer full means the microprocessor has accepted the data, 1 byte of data, then it will be indicating like the input buffer is full. So once input buffer is full, then the peripheral device will indicate, it will understand like whatever 1 byte of data it has sent to the microprocessor, it has been accepted or read by the microprocessor. Okay. If the this 8255 wants to interfere or interrupt the microprocessor such that it wants to send a data, it wants to send a signal to the microprocessor that the peripheral device wants to send some data to the microprocessor, then the 8255 will be indicating this interrupt signal. Interrupt request will be sent to the microprocessor. Once this interrupt request has been sent, then the microprocessor will understand like a particular peripheral device is going to send or wants to send some data to the microprocessor. Okay, so this is interrupt signal, interrupt request that will be sent to the microprocessor, and this interrupt will only be activated when INT E pin is 1 and strobe signal is 1 and IBF is 1. If all this is 1, then only this interrupt will be uh, signal will be generated, and that will be generation of interrupt signal will indicate like a peripheral external peripheral device wants to send some data to the microprocessor. The similar is with port B. Okay, so here the similar configuration is with port B also. So port B is a here input port, and there is also a strobe signal and input buffer full signal is there, that will be and similar to an acknowledgement to the peripheral device. And this is like accepting a data from accepting a request from the peripheral device. It is sending some 1 byte of data, and once 1 byte of data is read by the microprocessor, it will send the data, that is IBF, that is interrupt buffer is full. Okay, and if the port B wants to send or accept some data from the peripheral device, it will be providing an interrupt signal to the microprocessor like the port B wants to send some data to the microprocessor, and this will be indicated, it will be activated only when the interrupt enable pin and strobe pin and IBF pin, all the three pins are 1, then only this interrupt will be enabled. So one thing we can note it like the interrupt request B is connected to port C0, PC0, and IBF B is connected to PC1 and PC2, and these are like the lower pins of port C. So lower pins of port C is working as a handshake signal to the port B. Similarly, the PC3, PC5, PC4, these are upper bits of port C. So these bits of port C is going to work as a handshake signal for port A, and the remaining port C pins, that is PC6 and 7, will be working as a input or output mode. Okay, so that is free to work as a input or output mode. Okay, so this is how this port A and port B will be working as an input port, such that port C is going to help as a handshake signal. Okay, so this was the control word format, and similarly the status word, how the status word is going to vary in case of mode 1. So status word will basically indicate the status of 8255, like 8255 is working in what particular mode, and how their signals are going to affect the operation, that will be indicated by the status word register. So this status word register in case of mode 1 is given by this. Okay, so here D0, D1, D2 up to D7 bit is there. So here these three bit will be indicating the handshake signals of port B. Okay, and these three signals will be indicating the handshake signals of port A. So based on the handshake signals, a particular port is operating or not, or it is operating in what particular mode, that can be indicated by these handshake signals. Okay, so if these handshake signals are, suppose all these are in one mode, like 1 1 and 1 is there, that means this particular port A is going to request, or it is going to send an interrupt request to the port MPU, that is microprocessor unit. Okay, so that means it is going to accept, port A wants to accept some data from the uh, peripheral device. Okay, so these are based on the handshake signal values. The status of the 8255 can be indicated. So in status status word of mode 1, such that it is working in input mode, this is the configuration, and these two will be indicating the input output mode. Okay, so this was mode 1, such that port A and port B are in input mode. Similarly, we can have the output mode also. Before that, we will see like how the timing diagrams are going to affect. So here the timing diagram. So the timing diagram is like, first of all, whenever a data need to be sent by the peripheral device, it will be sending an strobe signal. Strobe signal to the 855. Strobe signal should be low. It is active low pin. So once this strobe signal is made low, and it is made low, that means but 1 byte of data has been sent by the peripheral device to the microprocessor. And once this data is accepted by the microprocessor, it will be sending input buffer full as a high pin. It will be sending a high. So this is low. That means 1 byte of data is sent. 1 byte of data has been sent by the peripheral device. And once the microprocessor accepts that data, it will be making the input buffer full as a high signal. Okay. And here, whatever data is there, if it is going to read the data, it will be making this low. And also when the particular port, either A or B, is going to request for an interrupt, at that time this will be made high only when the strobe signal and input buffer is, these two are high. Along with that, the interrupter INTE, interrupt enable, is also 1. At that this time, if these three signals are 1, then only this interrupt will be activated. Okay, and when this interrupt signal, okay, so once this interrupt signal is 1, that is high, that means microprocessor wants to accept some data from the peripheral device. It is requesting for sending a data from the peripheral device, external peripheral device. So once the same external peripheral device will be sending some data, then the read signal will be made low. So then this read signal is made low So whatever data is there, that will be read by the microprocessor. Okay, so this is how the pin diagram, basically the timing diagram of 8255, such that it is working in mode 1 and port A and port B are in input mode. So this is the timing diagram. So here this is input from the peripheral. Whatever input is there, that will be latched according to the control signals. These are the control signals. So based on the control signals, whatever the configuration is there, whatever data is going to be sent by the peripheral device, that will be latched to the input buffer, and that data will be read by the microprocessor. Okay, so that was the mode 1 in case of port A and port B as an input signal. Now the next case is port A and port B is going to be work as the output port. Okay, so here similar to the input port. So if it is output port, the different control handshake signals will be used. Okay, that will be with respect to the output mode. In the input mode, it was like three handshake signals were used, that is strobe signal. Okay, strobe signal, input buffer full, INTR, that is interrupt request. So in case of output port, so port A and port B are working as an output port, but that means the data is going out from the microprocessor to the peripheral device. That means here peripheral, this is going to the peripheral device. Whatever data from the microprocessor, it is going to be transferred to the peripheral device. That will be like the port will be working as an output mode. Okay, so here in the output mode, the handshake signals will be like O, B, F, A. For port A, it will be with respect to A, that is OV, OBF. Next one is further it is INTR. So here again it is INTR. So that INTR is basically interrupt. So whenever interrupt, basically it is going to interrupt. Okay, so if some data is going to be read from the peripheral, and if some data is sent to the peripheral device from the microprocessor, that interrupt will be activated, and that will be causing the microprocessor to start sending the data or accepting the data. That will be interrupt signal. And one, always there will be a pin, that is INTE, that will indicate a buffer, that is based on these pins. If it is all one, then this interrupt signal is going to be activated. Okay, the next is different this so this OBF is basically the out buffer full. So this is output buffer full. So this is buffer is an out signal, an output signal. And when the micro data into the output latch of, so whatever, because port A and port B are working in output mode. So whatever data is there to the microprocessor, it will output buffer. So before ports are working as an input mode, there were input mode, it was having input buffer. So whatever data is there, that data is pushed input mode. Similarly, there is an output buffer. So once microprocessor wants to send the data, it will be sending the data to the output buffer. So when this this is basically output active. When this will be activated, that means this output is going to be low, and then the micro to the latch of 8 to 5. Okay, and this signal basically indicates that the output output that is going to be sent to the peripheral, and the data that is sent going to send to the peripheral, that ready. Once this is low, that means the 8085 is going to send the data, is ready to send the data. Okay, so once this is sent to the peripheral device, Okay, so peripheral device will understand like the microprocessor has the data that need, and if the peripheral is also ready to accept the data, it will send an acknowledgement. It will send an acknowledgement to process. Okay, so this acknowledgement is an input signal that is from the peripheral. It must basically this acknowledgement is an active high pin. Okay, so once this is active high, it will be sent to the peripheral. Okay, so when the peripheral has received the data, because once the output buffer full is going to the peripheral device, it will be accepting the 1 byte of data, and once the 1 byte of data is accepted by the peripheral device, it will be sending an acknowledgement to the microprocessor like it has accepted the data. Okay, this is the acknowledgement. So this interrupt is basically generated when an OBF and acknowledgement. All the three pins are when this interrupt will be indicated, activated, and once this will interrupt the microprocessor that data need to be sent to the peripheral device. So once this INTR is activated, this will be causing to the mic like the next data. So that means the first data completed, the next data to be sent to output device, that is peripheral device. Okay. And this INTE is interrupt enable, that is a flip flop basically. The data is going to be set when this need to be set. This INTR need to be request need to be set, that is high, need to be high. This INT is goes high. That means it is going to enable the interrupt. And along with that, PC7, PC6, all these are one. Then INTR will be activated. Interrupt signal is activated means the next data from the microprocessor need to be sent. Okay. Explanation is for the such that input output, sorry, output mode. Okay. In this case, when the port C is going to work as a handset, one thing you noted like here PC0, PC2, PC1. These are the three handset signals. In case port B is port PC, PC5, PC6 and 7 are going to be working. PC4 and PC5 will be working as either input mode or output mode. Okay. So in case of port A and port B are working as a input mode, then PC6 and PC7 are the ports that are you can say pins are the lines that are going to be working as an input or output. Here PC3, PC4 and PC5 are working as the strobe signals, are basically the handshake signal in case of some slight change. Okay. And these are control word register or control word for mode 1 and A and B ports as output. When port B and port A are going to be working as output mode, then this will be configuration. All the control word register format is basically the first mode 0 control word register is there, same one is there. Only this D0 because this is C lower, it will be indicating the input and output mode of C lower. So here this input is of higher bit, so this is not you can say fixed, it is considered as because it is talking about the lower pins of port C. If it is upper ports, then this upper port can be working as input and output mode. That's why D3 bit is either 0 or 1. Okay, so if it is 0, it will be working in output mode. If it is 1, it will be working in input mode. The next one is the status word. So this status word is for mode 1 and as output mode. So port A and B are working as output mode, then this will be the status word. So 8-bit status word will be indicating this. Okay, so here these three will be indicating the status of port B, and these two and this one will be indicating the status of port A. And here D4 and D5. So D4 and D5 bits will be working as basically like these are the ports. So this will be working as the input and output mode. So it is one or either one will be 1 or 0. So that will be decided based on the PC. 4 and 5 are bits are going to be working in input or output mode. Okay. This is the timing diagram. Okay. So here in timing diagram is like same indication is like when this output buffer, first of all output data will be there, that will be sending from the microprocessor to the peripheral device. Some data is going to be sent from the microprocessor to the peripheral device. Okay, and when this sending will start, so that will be started like first of all some some data should be written to the you can say output port. Okay, some data to be written. So at that time this retain signal is activated. Okay, so if this retain signal is activated, and in that case this output buffer full will be indicating, so it will be going low. Okay, so when this input buffer full is going to be low, then it will be like 1 byte of data has been sent to the output buffer. So once that output buffer has been the data has been sent, and if that acknowledgement acknowledgement is there, that is acknowledgement is uh, active low pin. So if this acknowledgement need to be activated, so once this data has been received by the peripheral device, that is active low, that is acknowledgement the data has been received by the peripheral device, then it will go for making this acknowledgement signal to a low. Okay, so it will be sending this low. Once this is data to be retained, so once this write retained data, that is data to be written, is activate made to low, and if it is the rising of this retained data, retained signal, so this rising pulse will activate. That means the data has been written up to here, the data has been written. Now the next data need to be written, so IBF will be activated, like next byte of instruction will be activated, and also this interrupt will be activated. That means whatever interrupt is there, that is made to low. So initially this interrupt has been activated, means next data need to be sent. So once the next data has been written, need to be sent, and this data has been written, now it is going to be like it is not going to write some data. So once it is going to deactivate, right, retain is going to be deactivated. At that time signal will also be you can say disabled, like it is at the time the data needs to be transferred. So when this retain signal is going to be high, going to change from enable to disable, at that time the interrupt will be changing from enable to disable. So once this is disabled, the interrupt is disabled, that means the next data that is this input buffer will be next data will be sent. So once that interrupt is one, if it is one, that means the data has been requested. So once the data has been requested, now this output buffer will be low. That means output buffer has been full. Okay, so that means once the request has been made, this interrupt signal will go low. Okay, so once this output buffer is full, this will be read by this acknowledgement. Okay, read by the peripheral device, and it will be given like the confirmation will be given by the this acknowledgement signal. So this acknowledgement signal will be given the confirmation like the data has been read from the output buffer that is available at the output. Okay. So this is like the data is already available. Whenever the data need to be read or written, basically here we are going to write the data from the microprocessor to the peripheral device, so that will be activated with respect to the control signals. Okay, the next one is the bidirectional input output mode. Basically, here bidirectional input output mode of port A. So here, in case of mode 2 of operation of 8255, basically port A will be configured to be working as input port as well as the output port. And here the handshake signal will be indicated by the port C. So port C will be providing the handshake signal, and port A will be working in both input and output mode, and port B will be working as either input mode or output mode. Okay, and that will be working in mode 0 or mode 1. So this port B will be working either in mode 0 and mode 1, and here it is bidirectional input output for port A, so it is mode 2. So in mode 2, port B will be working in mode 0 and 1, either mode 0 or 1, and port A will be working in mode 2, and port C will be working as a handshake signal to the port A only. Okay. So this is the basic control word format. Okay. So this is the basic control word format. Okay. This is the control word format for mode 2. Mode 2 control word. Okay. So here in mode 2, the similar configuration is like whatever port this we have seen here, starting with D0 will be indicating the PC lower functions. Okay, so here PC lower function is like port 0 to 2, that will be working in either input mode or output mode. This will be indicating the mode B, so it will be working in either input or output mode, and this will be the mode of operation. So this port B will be working as a mode 0 or mode 1. These three will be indicating the next three bits will these three will be indicating, sorry, okay, so next this bit will indicate the PC upper. Okay, so PC upper is going to be working as here, don't here it is going to be working in either 0 or 1 mode, as it is going to work as a handshake signal. Okay, so this PC upper is there. So PC upper will be either 0 or 1, that based on the requirement, either port A is working in input or output mode, so it is considered that is I don't here. The next one is this is about port A. Okay, so port A here is going to be work either in uh, mode 0 or mode 1, so that's why it is also the next two bits will be indicating the mode of operation of port A. So when port A is going to be working in mode 2, then the values of this D5 and D6 is 1 and X. Okay, so 1 and X will be in case of mode 2 of port A. Okay, and this is for the input output mode. So that will be 1. If it is BSR mode, it should be a 0. So if it is input output mode, then that D7 bit will be 1. Okay, so this is the control word format in case of mode 2, and this is the internal. Okay, so here port A 0, that is working in a bidirectional port. It is either input port or as a output port. It is a bidirectional port. Okay, and it is having some strobe signals. So there will be the strobe signals. So here 5 strobe signals will be used in case of port A. So here 5 handshake signals will be used. So initially, when mode 1 we have seen, in mode 1 either port A or port B is going to require some handshake signal, and that handshake signals are only 3 handshake signals. But in case of port A working in mode 2, that is bidirectional port A input output mode, then the 5 handshake signals are required, and these 5 handshake signals will be starting with PC5, PC6, and PC7. Okay, so it is like handshake signal that is a handshake signal that is combination of the input of operation and output of operation. So in case of input mode of operation, strobe signal and input buffer full, and if port A is working in output mode, then output buffer full and acknowledgement were the 2 handshake signals. So there will be 2 these and these 2 in case of input mode, and this is for the output mode. So 4 signals. Along with that, the common signal was interrupt. So interrupt, instead of 2 different interrupts for input and output, one interrupt is activated. Okay, so this interrupt is there, and this interrupt now will be indicated or will be activated either when either PC6, PC7, that means these 2 and INTE1, these either of the three are 1. If these 3 are 1, then it will be activated, or these 2 and this INTE, all these are then also this interrupt will be enabled. So if the interrupt is enabled by this signal, that means the port A is going to be wants to work, and if this interrupt is activated by this signal, then it is like the interrupt this port A is going wants to work in a port output port mode. Okay.